Boom! Hey everybody, welcome back to the Siren podcast. I have an awesome show for you tonight. My guest is Massive J, and we talk about all kinds of awesome stuff. Massive J is a really awesome, fun guy, really cool guy to talk to. If you have not heard of Massive J, make sure and check out his stuff. He's got some stuff out on YouTube. You can just search Massive J, and he's got a show coming up on the 12th of September over at Glory Bound. So if you ain't got nothing else going on, head over there and check it out. It's going to be a great time. So let's just get right into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Massive J.
Passion. Desire. Hunger. Thirst. Yearning. You want him. You need him. You need him to cut the grass. For when a man needs to smell like a man, introducing the new scent from Gross Odor. Dad bod.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Siren podcast. Tonight I have on Massive J. Thanks for coming on the show. It's nice to finally meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. Before this started, me and Jay here had a very long setup process. So just be glad we're here. It was probably the worst one so far. But, you know, maybe that's telling for a great show to come, you know? So.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you. The first time I saw you was on the Live from a Safe. I always get this wrong. From a Safe Distance or Space? Live from a Safe Distance?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool. So it was definitely not like everybody else, what everybody else was doing. So that's why I reached out to you initially. And then I saw your Ward song and all that stuff. I actually saw you were at that new place in Laurel.
Yeah, I played at 325th Street Friday night.
Yeah, I haven't actually got a chance to make it up there. How is it? Good?
It's really cool. It's a small venue. It's it's limited capacity currently, but I think it's a great space. All they're selling is beer right now, but they're trying to get their liquor license. They have food available. They have a nice back patio area.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
And it's right next to the old slow boat, so it's a cool space.
Yeah, it looked cool. Doesn't Shane Kelly, the owner, or
he is
or something? Yeah, I used to go to church with him way back in the day, so I've known him for a while. Cool dude.
Yeah, I met Shane a couple of years back when we had a band from a Hat concert. We were in the same band. We got picked to be in a band together, and it was that was a fun experience. Yeah. So
are you a keyboardist, or do you play like other instruments, or just what? Like what'd you do?
I play a little. Well, I grew up playing a lot of different instruments. My mom is a retired elementary music teacher.
Yeah.
She would teach elementary music to children, and we had instruments. I had instruments just around as a child. I was forced to play the violin at an early age.
Yeah.
And so I played a lot of different things. In my teenage years, I started picking up guitar a little bit. And I'm not like a lead guitarist. I play a little rhythm here and there, but play a little piano, play a little keys, maybe a little, play a little guitar here and there, and just make it happen. Just do what I can musically. Yeah. I switched from about 8th or 9th grade. It was 9th grade. I switched from violin to string bass. and I played upright bass for a couple years, and played bass in a couple bands in high school and stuff. And then kind of when I moved to Hattiesburg, I just kind of just sat around and played guitar and keyboard for the most.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, I didn't. Well, two things. I've always wanted to play the violin. I saw a guy play when I was younger, and I was just like, that is the most beautiful instrument ever. And I'd always want to play one. I could never afford one. So once I got older, I was like, I'm getting a violin. And I got one, and I was like, I can play guitar. I'm going to be able to play this thing easy. And I can't do anything on it, man. I thought I'd just be able to do it. I can't even hold the bow right. I was like, I have it. It's in my closet, but it wasn't as easy as as I thought it was going to be. No,
it was definitely something that was thrust upon me at such an early age that I didn't. My mom would not take no for an answer. It was just one of these things where my brother got to play cello, and my mom's a cellist.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of these things where Jamie's going to play the violin, and I don't know. It was thrust upon me, and by the time I got to junior high school, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, the violin's kind of I don't know. I'm not the greatest violinist, and I just feel like it's kind of at that point I was just kind of like over it. And she's like, well, we'll put you on string bass, then you'll feel a little better. And I actually did. It was really cool. It was a good transition for me.
Yeah. It's the same thing, just bigger, right? You hold it different.
Oh, much bigger. Yeah. Much a little different, but yeah. It was still a cool thing, man. Just playing in orchestra and stuff growing up.
Yeah, orchestras are cool. I sat in when I was at Southern, and we recorded the orchestra there. And it's like I've never actually sat down and watched one before then, and it's mind blowing how good those people are. And they're just in college and stuff. It's crazy. An orchestra is very impressive, especially the instrumentation and stuff. So.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It was kind of one of the actual things that drew me to Hattiesburg, believe it or not, is when I got out of high school, I had these big dreams of coming to Southern and becoming like a music composition major and continuing playing string bass. And I don't know, that whole freshman year experience, I got out and just kind of wasn't sure I wanted to be at school at the time. So,
Yeah.
But it's what got me to Hattiesburg.
Well, that's good. How long have you been here? Long time?
Yeah, I mean, I say I moved here in 2001.
Okay. Oh, so before we were talking about about ourselves, so because I actually don't even know your name. I know you, Massive J. So what is your actual name? That's a weird thing to say after talking.
My name is Jamie Massengale.
Is that where you get massive?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of one of those things where like, oh, you're a big guy and your last name's I don't know. Just roll with it.
What's a sick name? I like it. I mean, you see it and you're like he's doing something. You're like, that guy's got to be doing.
I'm trying.
Something. He's got to be doing something with a name like that, for sure. So, but yeah, I'm from Laurel. Or so, but it's essentially Laurel, which is right up the road from Hattiesburg. And I moved to Hattiesburg a year ago. I was in Petal, and then I moved here. But I've always been around the area. But now that I lived here, I love being in Hattiesburg because I live kind of right by sidelines. Like I could walk to sidelines if I want, but I've got a real wooded area I live in, so it's pretty nice being close to everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I like it here. It's pretty cool. But I guess if you went to college in 2001, I was in 7th grade. So,
young guns over here.
A little younger. See, but I mean, I feel old. Like, I went into that pizza place the other day, Pyro's, and there's a bunch of college kids out there, and I was like, these kids look so young. And it was shocking. It was an awakening moment. I was like, man, I'm old now, or getting old, I guess.
You're not that old.
Yeah. Well, I'm older. So yeah, I saw you on the the award show the other night. It's pretty funny stuff, man. So, were you up for anything? Did you get anything?
Well, usually whenever I started working for these people, actually, I started working for Signature Magazine and the Pine Belt News, the people who put it on.
Oh, okay.
And before I started working for them, I would be able to get nominated and be up for awards. But this with me working for the company, they usually just don't try to avoid any type of conflict where
Yeah, I can see that.
So as an employee, I'm ineligible to win anything. But it is what it is. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was I got nominated. Like I got an email and my name was on the thing for live music photographer, but I didn't actually get like nominated. I don't know how that works. I never heard of it till this year anyway. But I was on it for a second. I didn't get in. The Chad Edwards is fantastic. I had him on the show, so there would have been no point. He didn't win. Someone else won. I hadn't heard of that guy, but me being on there was been pointless anyway. With those guys.
Yeah, I gotta say, a lot of the guys, a lot of people that were some of the finalists, pretty amazing. Like as you know, Chad, his photography is some of the best I've seen. And the guys that Keith Kujak and Rob Walker, they've been coming up in the last couple of years. I don't know if they're necessarily on Chad's level, but they're definitely getting there. I mean, it's really pretty amazing to see that the community and who is it? Jen Devereaux. She goes down to New Orleans all the time. Like we have some pretty amazing photographers around here who take who do music photography, and just a pretty amazing crop of photographers.
Yeah, I mean, I had Chad on, and we just like picked a bunch of his pictures and talked about each one of them. And the first time I saw his stuff, it was just like randomly I'd see him on Facebook and stuff, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" These photos are fantastic. He's good.
Yeah, I should actually just not even say like Chad. I mean, as a photographer, not necessarily. Like I say, they're all photographers, so it doesn't really matter like what it is. But Chad's photography is pretty amazing, I must say.
Yeah, he's got an eye for it. He's definitely born to do that. So that's cool, man. Signature Magazine. Don't they usually have like a full award ceremony and stuff?
Traditionally, they do. In the last couple of years, they've had an actual event at the Sanger Theater. Usually, like a big crowd, lots of musical acts. It's usually a nice little excuse for people to dress up. There's a kind of like a red carpet, and everybody gets gussied up and has a good time. It's usually a lot of fun. A couple awards are given away, and I guess just a nice excuse to come together and see some live music and hang out.
Yeah,
I actually got to open up the show last year. It was pretty cool. I was asked to be the opening act, which was very weird and interesting.
So let's talk about what it is you actually do. You set up for a show and you just kind of like use a looper and just kind of freestyle stuff. And
for the most part, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of. I want to say that I've been inspired by some people who can make up songs on the fly and just kind of do a lot of improv. I like to be funny. I'm always trying to goof off and make people laugh. So I like to make really goofy comedic songs. But essentially, I have like a little micro Korg synthesizer. I'll play that. I have my little Chaos pad. I'll sit there and loop and do voice effects and all kinds of stuff and just make up songs on the fly.
What kind of looper do you use?
It's through the Chaos pad. As much as I would love to upgrade to like a bigger looping rig, I'm still just using this little the Chaosilator, a Korg Chaosilator, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's somewhat limiting, but it's a lot of fun, and it's got all different kinds of sounds and drum patches and all kinds of interesting things, and I don't know. I goof off with it a lot.
Yeah.
People just see me wiggling my finger on this little rectangle.
Like
You
a
know,
little,
like what
little
is that?
thing, and it lights up and stuff.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
This
I know
is-
they make like small portable versions, but this is like a
this is what I used to loop with. It's like
oh wow.
$60. It's made for guitar, but I have it set up where my mic can go through it and everything. So when I do live streams, and you hit it once and it starts to loop, and then it stops it. Hit it twice to stop, and then hold it to erase.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I used to have a little Boss like that, like a little
Mhm.
2-pedal, and I think my buddy's Battle Cat, he uses that a little bit when he does some bass loops and stuff whenever we're playing.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen Battle Cat. I see. I feel like I miss a lot of things in Hattiesburg. It's kind of one of the reasons I started a music-based podcast was, get to know more people out in the area and stuff like that as well. So,
Yeah,
there's a lot of people doing a lot of cool stuff, man.
there really are. It's I know this year's been tough with with everything and live shows and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, there's people. I mean, there's a show going on at T-Bone's tonight, actually. Believe it or not,
Yeah, the Royal Horses.
Well Horses.
Yeah. The thing about not having the live shows is I've actually got to catch a lot more people that I wouldn't have normally. I've never thought to go, oh, I'm going to go to the Hippo tonight because this band's playing. I wouldn't have even known. But if they show up on Facebook and I'm like, that looks cool, it's like there's a lot of bands that I've discovered just based on live events this year. I think it's kind of a two-edged sword. It sucks not to get out, but it's also a good excuse for people to set up their cameras. I mean, I started a podcast pretty much because of it.
It's funny you say that because there was some page that I got drawn to early on in this whole quarantine lifestyle, and it's a Facebook page called Social Distance Fest or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's people all over the country in this group, and people will basically just go live on Social Distance Fest Facebook page. And I've been introduced to like artists in New Orleans and all over the country. Really, like people are all over. This one girl just plays like a theremin. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
you know what a theremin? Yeah, this girl's like over here wailing on this theremin. I'm like, this is so bizarre, But I would, it's the world we're living in.
That's awesome. That's I've always wanted to play a theremin. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I just have a fake one on my Chaos pad that
Oh yeah.
I can just wiggle my finger and
You could just set up a fake one and pretend you're doing it, and people be like, "Damn, did you see Massive J? He's like an expert theremin player now."
Actually, don't tell anybody. I do that sometimes.
Oh.
I just when I'm playing it with my right hand, I'm showing off with the left.
They're like, man, you got to check this guy's killing it on the theremin down at T-Bone's. You got to get up there.
That's right.
But now they know. Now everybody knows, man. I'll cut this part out.
That's right.
I'll edit this. I'll edit
Yeah, they don't need to know. They don't need to know that my tricks.
Awesome, man. So, let's talk about Wards.
Talk about water.
Let's talk about Wards. You have a music video that I'll probably link. Is that on a streaming platform? Like,
It's
it on-
no. I mean, it's on SoundCloud. I mean, it's not really on. It's not on any It's not on iTunes or Spotify or anything. Part of that has to do with just the fact that when I recorded that when I was part of a rap duo. It was me and my buddy DeCon, who's now DeCon lives in Texas.
Yeah.
And Massive J and DeCon together the group is called JCon.
JCon.
So
okay.
So JCon was our little group name, and this was like 5-6 years ago. we had a little thing going on. We would play. It was actually kind of a really interesting. It was an interesting time. Man, this was even longer ago. This might have been 7 years ago. That basically, in 2013, so long ago, there was an election for the mayor of Hattiesburg, and it was like Johnny Dupree versus Dave Ware. And when I used to basically just go up to the Thirsty Hippo and do open mics and stuff. I would just go up there and goof off and just kind of get my feet wet, performing a little bit, doing my looping, and just kind of getting into things. And DeCon would show up, and he would kind of MC the event. And he's a rapper, he's a lyricist. And somebody suggested that DeCon and I kind of team up and do a show. And this was around the time when I say it was kind of a weird time politically because of this mayoral election in Hattiesburg. It was really weird. But we had a little concert, and we kind of came together. But in doing so, we had to all right, let's get together. Let's make a couple songs just to perform. And he asked me what do you got? What are you working on? And I said, well, I sing this song about going to Ward's when I'm driving to Ward's in the morning to get a biscuit for I had to go to Ward's all the time to go get biscuits for my office. I worked for a lawyer, and it was it was part of my thing. And so I'd get in the car, I'd be driving to Ward's, and going to Ward's.
That's awesome. That's good.
So then, it kind of weird evolved from there. DeCon and I are sitting around my old apartment, and he's like, well, let me ask you something. Would you rather go to Ward's, or would you rather go to war? I was like, dude, no question. I'd rather go to Ward's. Who in their right mind would ever say, yeah, I'm ready to go to war?
I'd rather go to war than have a tasty biscuit or whatever. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how it evolved. That's how the whole song came about. And DeCon and I, like I said, we had a little group for a little bit. And one day we just decided, hey, let's get somebody to come record us a little bit. And that was the one song that we recorded together. It was the only. We recorded it in my old apartment in Hattiesburg. It was just a funny thing, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's when the best stuff's made, man. In apartments. Just come over to the house, bring your laptop.
And to talk about that song and pop and the local pop, pop culture, I guess you'd say. I don't know. It's really weird. So, DeCon and I had kind of we had our little. We kind of I don't want to say broke up or whatever. We had a little split. He ended up playing with some other people, and I wished him well. It was just one of these things where we just weren't agreeing. Creative differences, I guess you'd say. But he moved to Texas. He's living in Texas. We're still really great friends, and we talk to each other every so often. But I started going back to Southern. I went back to school after all this time of being out of school. And, I'm friends with people like your boy, DJ Don King, who DJs things. And he would tell me, he would tell me, hey, I'm DJing the Ward's Christmas party. And I said, oh, you ought to play the Ward's rap song for him that I wrote. He's like, well, do you have the clean version? And I was like, no. All I got's the explicit version, which I had the guy who recorded it. He made a clean version, a radio edited version. So I got that radio edited version from my buddy, and at the time I was back at Southern, and I started getting it played. I got it to start getting played on WUSM, the college radio station.
Yeah.
So it's actually a song that you can request on WUSM after 6 o'clock at night. You can request Ward's Over War on the radio, and that's goofy on its own. But I was doing a bunch of video production classes at Southern, and we were given an assignment one semester where my teacher came in and said, "Hey, you can make a little miniature documentary if you want. You can make a little narrative video, or you can make a music video." And I was like, "Oh, a music video? Like, I've got the perfect song for a music video." So that's pretty much how the video came about. It was a video project for a class I was taking, and we had a lot of fun with that. I do have a couple. As my own worst critic, I do feel like I could have done better on the video, but it definitely helped push the song out there again. I hate that DeCon couldn't be there to be in the video, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
the whole Wards thing.
So, everybody out there, because this is probably past 6 o'clock right now.
Yeah, go to southernmissradio.com, click on requests, and then just type in Wards, and then it'll be one of the things you can pick up. JCon, Wards Over War.
Let's get it to. Do they have like a chart? They have a chart, like number 1, number 2 chart up there.
I mean, not really.
Let's make it to where they have to make one because your song is getting played so much. USM has to make a top 10 chart with Wards Over War. Go there and do it.
There was a time when I used to do that. I would, if I was ever at the Keg and Barrel, and I would hear that they were listening to WSM on the speakers inside, I would request it and be like, "Yeah, my song's coming on. Y'all gonna hear this?" It's funny.
Like, "Hey, ladies, hear this?"
Oh,
that's
an interesting scenario where. A couple of years ago, I decided to make to make some extra money by being like an Uber and Lyft driver here in town. And I was driving Uber one night, and my song came on. These girls were in my car. I'm driving them home or something. I was just like, "This is me on the radio." They're like, "What?" So I just started rapping to them in the car. It was so goofy.
Dude, I need to get a song on. And then Uber drive.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing ever. That's me on the radio.
Yeah, my idea would be for us to make a song together, and then we'll make a goofy video, and then we'll have a making of video as well, and it'll all start with this podcast.
Oh, that's it. It'll be like it'll be that moment right there where I said, "Oh," like, I'm gonna cut that back. I'm gonna add in that "oh" again right here. Oh, boom, and then and that's what the name of the song is. Oh. Talking about all the things that make you go, oh, right? I got it, man. That's it. That's a hit.
I'm in.
All right, we're doing it. I'm writing that down on my calendar. I got to find it. Once I find my calendar, I'm writing it. Oh.
Put it on your calendar.
That's it. Y'all be ready for that coming this fall, 2020.
It's called Where's My Calendar?
Called Where's My Calendar? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So the reason why I asked if it was on a streaming platform is I'll cut it in and play it right here. If there's a song that's on Apple Music or anything like that, Facebook is like, will shut down the stream or mute it or something. But if it's not on one of those platforms, I can play it. So I'll play that video. Right now. Here's the video. Check it out.
They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to wars. They're talking about going to war, but I'm talking about going to wars.
Going to wars, going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars. I'm going to wars, I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars.
They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to wars. They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to wars.
Going to wars, going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars. I'm going to wars, I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars.
Yeah, I'm driving real reckless, trying to get to wars where I stop serving breakfast. Yeah, I'm driving in the left lane. People got me going crazy insane. Yeah, over by by the old mall. Best damn wards, I told y'all. Yeah, you know I need that biscuit. And you know I need it real quick. Down the wards on Barter Street. Shit, they bringing the heat. Yeah, I don't play with swords. Bitch, I'm going to war. Yeah, I need Millie. Motherfucker shit needs some filling. Yeah, I need that big one. Cause I like to have more fun.
They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to wars. They're talking about going to war, but I'm talking about going to wars.
Going to wars, I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars. I'm going to wars. I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars.
They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to wars. They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to war.
Going to wars, I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars. I'm going to wars. I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars.
In traffic and I'm going berserk. I wonder if my favorite clerk's still at work. I want a meal, I don't need dessert. And I wanna see some boobs in a tie-dye shirt. Hey, see you know how I do. Man, I'm trying to get a number in the drive-thru. Eyeing her, she was eyeing me. I wonder, can I get a number 5 for free?
A 5 for free, a 5 for free. I wanna get a number 5 for free. 5 for free, a 5 for free. I wanna get a motherfucking 5 for free.
Oh, she said we can get it done. Do you want the sesame seed bun? Then I said no, hun. You know it's big ones over big guns. They talking about going to war. I'm talking about going to wars. They're talking about going to war, but I'm talking about going to wars.
Going to wars, I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars. I'm going to wars. I'm going to wars. I'm talking about going to wars.
This ain't no competition, I ain't the ref. The chili ain't no good unless it gives you bad breath. The chili ain't no good unless it gives you bad breath. The chili ain't no good unless it gives you bad breath.
Breath, 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 breath. Yes, wars over war, ladies and gentlemen. I see all the ladies out there looking good, smiling back at me with your smirk. But I'm finna put you to work. Say this with me now. Hey, I know where you work if you got that tie-dye shirt. Hey, I know where you work if you got that tie-dye shirt. Everybody say, I know where you work if you got that tie-dye shirt. You work at wards, 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 wards. Everybody now, I know where you work if you got that tie-dye shirt. Say it loud now. I know where you work if you got that tie-dye shirt. I said that I know where you work if you got that tie-dye shirt. You work at wards. Wards. Yeah. Take 'em away, Master J. Jay, take 'em away. Take 'em away, Jay. Take 'em away, Jay. Take 'em away, Jay.
We're back.
Oh, that was the video.
That was the
And,
video.
That was the video, and believe it or not, there was part of the video when I made it. You might notice that it's not the same. It lacks a little bit of the intro and a little bit of the outro. Believe it or not, I kind of cut it a little bit just for video. So
Oh,
yeah,
took a creative
and,
license.
and also I regret that. If you notice, we're at the wards over by the old mall in Hattiesburg. My favorite wards, the one on Barter Street, which I reference. It's right across the street from the old treasure hunt, which is now Dirt Cheap. And after the video, I went to Dirt Cheap and found some really awesome clothes that I probably should have had in the video, but I didn't.
Maybe part 2.
Yeah.
I've already been to war. Now I'm coming home to war. It could be
Yeah, coming home to wards. That sounds like a country version, though. I have to come like a country song where I'm like, coming home to wards.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's it.
Coming home from war is like a country song.
God
and it's
bless.
about those hash browns.
Shining so bright.
I need a frosty mug and some root beer.
Tonight. Yeah. That's it. Coming on home. Bring it on home, Wards.
Bring it on home, wards.
Yeah, you can get the I don't know if they were crazy clothes, but those clothes that you wanted. film a part 2.
We actually, yeah, I had all these really crazy ideas for that video where I wanted to get like people, like legit military, like ROTC people to like march in formation in the Ward's parking lot. But I thought, somebody might have like gone, I don't know about that, I don't know.
Was Ward's aware of this, or do you just show up at their place?
Yes, I'm actually friends with Miss Vicky Ward, who is daughter of some of the original owners, which now I think it's franchised out a little bit, and she still owns that one particular Ward's at my favorite Ward's over by the old mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barter Street.
Yeah. In fact, I've actually been told that the people who own majority of like the franchise of Ward's, they're not really a big fan of my song, which
Really?
I don't know what to say. Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's like a
I don't know.
compliment.
I think it's just the fact that like I decided to make the video with the explicit version, and yeah, there were some kids there. Their parents, they're cool.
Yeah.
Just go with it. I drop an F word here and there. It's not.
They say that on TV.
Yeah, kids hear way worse things.
I was watching Sesame Street the other day. They were dropping F-bombs. I mean, it's everywhere today.
Sure they were.
SpongeBob, they're all saying it. So,
oh yeah.
So, Massive J goes towards on Barter Street. What are you ordering? It's your last meal.
Again, it's breakfast. It's that particular one slays breakfast. I mean, it is amazing. And right now, I'm on a little bit of a diet, so I've got to eat like healthier. I'm trying to lay off the biscuits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's tough.
But yeah, well, let's just say if I'm going out, I'm going for that biscuit. I'm going either just like give me a whole 2 butter biscuits and some gravy, because they're gravy biscuit, they're sausage gravy.
Mm-hmm. It's
really good. But traditionally, I would just get like a patty, egg, and cheese, or a patty and cheese biscuit. Nothing wrong with it,
Well,
I was going to say the reason I swear by that particular Ward's is I know that it's one of the Ward's where they make their biscuits in house, and it means a lot when they're made in house.
Actually making them, yeah. Instead of pulling
There's only so many Ward's that actually do that. I think people have told me that the one in Petal, maybe the one on 40th. I don't really know. I can't go to all the Ward's, and trust me, I'm trying to chill out on the biscuits. But I've also been to some Ward's that are open on Sundays and that serve like those frozen biscuits, and it's just not hitting right.
Can't have the frozen ones. The thing about Ward's is my wife and her sister lives in New Orleans, so every time she comes up, she goes to Ward's because there's not a Ward's down there. So they love Ward's. Me personally, this might offend some people. I've never been the biggest fan of Ward's. I do like their root beer though. I like the root beer.
Yeah. Look,
but
you're not going to offend me.
Okay. When I had their breakfast though, one day, I didn't even know they had breakfast, but I was going through, I'm going to say Richton, whatever the town is past Petal, like going away from Hattiesburg, that next town. Richton. There was a Ward's there, and we stopped and got breakfast one day, and that was delicious. It was almost like, how when you get fast food, you kind of want it to be a little sloppy. That's kind of what makes it good. The fact that it's like the biscuit's kind of falling apart and it's greasy. That's exactly what it was. The bag was clear for my sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that was definitely a thing. If I'm coming back from Ward's in the morning, and my boss is like always ordering something greasy, there better be some grease spots on that bag.
Yeah.
It's one of those, that's how you know it's good.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Starbucks and your bag, you get those little panini things. There's no grease on those things.
No.
It's a different animal.
You were saying, who is it? They live in New Orleans and they don't have Ward's down there. And people have nostalgia or people also like things that they don't have on a regular basis. You know, it's one of those things where we have awards, and I've had enough awards. I could, you know, I wouldn't miss it too bad right now. But it's just one of these things where, like, say I drive through Jackson, I stopped at a Whataburger, and it's a weird thing where we don't have Whataburger, and it might not be the greatest thing. People hype it up, but like, I really like it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the fact that we don't have one.
Yeah, I played a show down in Saussure, and I don't know if it's technically in Saussure, but somewhere around there's a Whataburger. And I was like, me and my brother were down there like, dude, we've got to hit that Whataburger. And we went in there and got it, and I was sitting there thinking, man, last time I had this as a kid, it was so good, and it was okay. But it was still, you were still like, I'm going to come back. I'm coming back to this.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype with certain places. Like Whataburger, I've been to In-N-Out. I mean, there's a lot of hype with these places, you know?
I've never been to In-N-Out. I hear it's good. I still haven't hit the steak and shake that they just built. Everybody says that that's awesome. But I started a diet in November, and they built that after that, and I just haven't had any fast food since then.
Oh, wow.
But I wanted to try it. It was like as soon as they started putting that thing up, I started my diet, and I was like, I'm not.
That place got super busy, man. Like, I got to go there with Signature Magazine and do like a little spread with them, and it wasn't bad. I think it was I thought it was a little overhyped. I've been to the one on the coast before, and I don't know. It's nothing to write home about.
Is it a steak or just a hamburger? Is it like a steak burger, or is it just a hamburger?
They claim a steak burger. I think it's whatever meat they're trying to put in their burger. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm a hamburger guy. Like, if I had to have like a final, steak, but hamburger and steak, I could eat that every day if I had to. What are your thoughts on Five Guys? Honest.
I haven't had Five Guys in a while. I almost said 5 gays. I haven't had 5 gays.
Hey, man,
no, I haven't had.
There's nothing wrong with that if that's your prerogative.
I haven't had 5 Guys in a long time, but the last I recall, it's believe it or not, it's actually one of my favorites. It's as far as chains go, I don't really know. It's a lot of money, but I feel like it's decent what you're paying for. I mean, I think it's people are a little upset they're paying over $10 for a burger or something, but it's actually really good. So yeah, I don't know.
To me, it's not my favorite. I think they're like their gimmick is like, look at how good we are.
Yeah,
you go in there.
I can tell you though, like locally in Hattiesburg, if you want a good burger, my 2 spots for a burger would be Keg and Barrel and Sully's.
I've had them in Petal, the Sully's in Petal, and those French, they're called fisticuff fries or something.
Yeah,
I could eat that every day.
I actually, when I was working for the Student Prince at Southern, I got to go around and do like little food reviews. I dub myself a little foodie. I don't really know, but it was one of those things where I got to go around and try burgers in different parts of the town. And the thing with Sully's is, which they do put out a really good burger. The only thing is majority of the time when I go to Sully's, I'm not there for a burger. I'm there for a steak. And if I'm there for lunch, it's going to be like a tuna steak. It's going to be something, it's not going to be a burger. I don't know. Like, it's not like, to me, I like Sully's and they do a good job. It's just not, I don't know. I feel like I feel bad talking about them like this, but to me, I'd rather go there for steak.
It's a steak place. It's kind of like going to like Longhorn and getting not a steak, like, right? Is that what you're getting at? It's a steak. It's a steak place. Get a steak there.
But I wish to say, please don't compare them to Longhorn.
I've never had a Longhorn hamburger.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's like that. People have actually told me that how much they enjoy the burger at Outback or something like that. I'm like, what do Who orders that? Who orders that?
Look, I went to. I want to say it was my father-in-law. Somebody I was with at a Mexican restaurant ordered a hamburger. They had a hamburger at a Mexican restaurant, and it wasn't like taco burger with sauce on it. It was just like hamburger with cheese. I was like, "Who's getting a hamburger at a Mexican restaurant?"
I will say, it's funny you say that too, because people have told me that Sakura at one point in time had one of their favorite steaks in town. I'm like, oh yeah, Sakura. And I was like, the sushi restaurant? You're like,
place?
yeah. The sushi place had some of my favorite steak. I was like, that's weird. I don't know.
I'd have to taste. I'd have to have one before I could comment. It's
just one of those things like, who orders that at that place? I don't know why.
Well, one of the most expensive steaks is like a Japanese steak, right? The Kobe.
Oh yeah, that Kobe beef.
Kobe beef, $500 or whatever.
Or Wagyu.
There it is, Wagyu.
Wagyu beef.
Wagyu beef.
The marbling.
It's got the marbling. That's what it is. You see this? You see the marbling on this, and like they cut it into a perfect little square.
Yeah, I've watched enough food videos to know that you're not supposed to cook that like an American does. You have to cut it real thin and do it in like little strips and just kind of you sear it real fast, and that's the way it's preferred. It's not supposed to be eaten like a big old hunk of meat like we eat.
Yeah, if I were to eat a $500 steak, I'd be like, you tell me how to eat it. Like, tell me what fork I need to use, how to chew it. If I'm going to pay $500 for a little piece of meat, I'm going to need instructions by the book.
I should figure out how I could make that happen, or how I can get my hands on something like that, or that experience.
There's a guy on YouTube, and it's called Sous-Vide Everything, and he cooks steaks. Like, you ever heard of sous vide, where like they
in the bag. You put it in the bag, and you basically put it in a water bath, and it cooks it.
Yeah, he'll do like
in the bag.
Yeah, he'll do it, and he'll like marinate with like peanut butter, or he'll do like solid butter. He does everything to a steak, and I swore that he does something where you can like mimic the Kobe beef. When he was like, he compared them, like, here's this beef and here's an actual piece of grade 5 Kobe beef, and they couldn't tell the difference. So I can't.
I've heard of people doing sous vide steaks where they'll sous vide them, but then they want to like flash sear them to give them a little bit of grill mark or something, to give it some sort of sear.
Yeah,
because if it's in the bag, it doesn't like
he'll sous vide them, and sometimes he'll do like a week. I don't know how that works, but he'll do them for like whatever. He cooks them. When they come out, they're gray. They look like they've been microwaved. Then he cooks them on the grill and then they char up and look like a regular steak. I've never actually had a sous vide steak that I know of. That'd be okay. That's all he eats. He cooks.
Yeah, sous vides are pretty cool, and they sell those like. I think it's like something that would essentially just go on a big pot that you have, that you just keeps the water at a certain temperature, and you can cook them in those vacuum seal bags. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
Science,
man. It's like you got like tubes and stuff. They're like, "What are you doing in here?" I'm cooking a steak. Like,
yeah,
in a bag.
In a bag.
I wonder if you can microwave sous vide. The American
I don't
way.
know.
The American way, man. Well, so one thing I like to do on my shows is I go to this website called Reddit, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Reddit?
Yeah,
I think I've heard of it. I'm not the biggest Reddit guy, but yeah.
So there's a subreddit called Would You Rather, and it offers questions about would you rather. So I'm going to scroll through here and find the first one that's not disgusting, and we're gonna answer it. So let's see.
Yeah. So I would rather not answer disgusting stuff.
Well, this one's not really funny. It says, "Would you rather wash your hands more and stay home all day, or literally die?" I think they're I think they're aiming
Might
that
be
one.
trolling people. Oh, it's terrible.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather poop in the only toilet at a party, knowing that you'll clog it, or poop in the bushes in the backyard? That's not.
that's so awkward.
That's such a weird.
Yeah, I mean, who? I don't know what to say. That's a terrible thing. Like, I know I'm going to clog that toilet, man. But I like using a toilet. Sure is nice.
But you got a
Convenient.
chance of not being caught either way. So I guess what it really comes down to is, would you rather be caught
I also
jamming the toilet or caught pooping outside?
I'm also one of those people who likes to leave parties without saying goodbye to everybody. Just like dips out. They're like, "Where's Jamie?" Oh,
I don't know,
guess he
dude.
left.
Somebody just shit in the bushes outside. was that Jamie? Look, I gotta
Could
find
have been. If you could have any superpower, one superpower, what would you want to be? What would your superpower be?
Let me tell you how crazy this is. Literally today, I was thinking about that. About that, and let me tell you what my superpower would be. And I thought about this today, so I've got a fully thought out answer. Mine would be time manipulation, and not just like I can go forward or backwards in time. I could change what is changing through time. So I could speed up time and make my body go back in time, but my brain stay in the same time, so I can not get older but move around in time. So I could essentially live forever. Am I explaining this the right way? Does that make sense?
I mean, you're basically saying time manipulation, but then you're like, but I can do so much with it.
So much, yeah, like more than just like, because, if you could travel to the past, eventually you would get old, like your body, right? If I could go back 50 years, I would still be 33 years old. And then after 60 years of going to different places in time, I would eventually die of old age in 60 years. But if I can make my body travel back in time but keep my mind, like my consciousness.
Yeah. So I imagine you'd be pulling off some Back to the Future type. You'd be laying down some bets on some sporting events that you know the outcome, and trying to make a little money that way, or
I'd be like,
I don't know,
I'd go to whenever they fired Steve Jobs and be like, "Hey, I've got a better idea, a phone," and then they'd be like, "I'd be the next Steve Jobs or something, maybe." And then,
or I thought about this. People always ask that question of like, what would you tell your 18-year-old self or something, or what would you tell your 10-year-old self? I say like, invest in Microsoft, invest in Apple or something like. So basically, you can buy up a bunch of property or something if you had the ability to invest at an early age in some of these companies that are worth billions of dollars now. You'd be like, yeah, I helped start that company. Essentially, I was in on the ground floor.
And I was digging through my closet and I found this case of Babe Ruth rookie cards signed by Babe Ruth. A whole box of them. Yeah, that's what I do, time manipulation. Because if you think about it, like, I say superpower, but I haven't said anything super. But if I were to fight a villain and I missed him when I went to punch him, I could just rewind time and punch him. So essentially, I'd always be winning.
It'd be like Prince of Persia over here.
Yeah, it'd be just like that. What would your superpower be?
I've thought about it a couple times, and I honestly think, I just think the ability to have mind control. I know that sounds a little weird and devious, but to be able to like understand like what other people are thinking, maybe do some type of Inception type stuff where you can like put thoughts in people's heads, maybe mess with them a little, but essentially just like be able to read minds and be like, all right, like I know what that person, like I know, just it's pretty messed up to think about it too, but like to have all that knowledge, man, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, like you go for a job interview and you go, hey, I want to work here, but I want every Saturday off and only want to work 2 hours a week, but I want the same pay. And they're like, sure, because you accepted that.
Yeah. Jedi mind tricks that are actually just like,
Jedi mind tricks,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I like
but also
that.
like in a weird sense of like, oh, like I know where, I don't know, it sounds pretty devious to think about it. I think part of me feels like everybody wants to use their superpower to try and like, you know, do whatever, I don't know, just like get by or something like that. Make it, it's not to do anything amazing and stop.
I wanted to stop all the hunger.
It's to become a super villain. Everybody wants to be a super villain.
That's it. It's a superpower, so you can become a super villain. You know,
Yeah.
no
Not
one's
a hero thing. Everybody wants to be a villain.
no one's like, you know what? I want to be able to grow food for every child in the world that is hungry. It's like, nah, man, I want to be able to make money out of my fingertips so I can buy a new car.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Well, that's a good superpower, mind control. Yeah, I was thinking like,
Mind control.
say if I was a single guy and I went to like try to pick up a girl, I could walk up and be like, "Hey, girl," I could just say whatever, and if she rejects me, I just back it up and then try again. You know, eventually,
Oh man,
you're gonna say the right thing, right?
have you seen? I mean, I'm sure you've seen Groundhog Day.
Yes. Well, I was really.
Have you
into it.
seen? All right, so there's this new movie on, I believe it's on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu. It's called Palm Springs. It's got Andy Samberg in it.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen like the picture of it. I haven't watched.
Yeah, you should. It's a good telling of a kind of like a Groundhog Day situation where stuck in a loop kind of deal. But you got me thinking about like I don't know, like an episode of Rick and Morty on one of those last seasons where Morty wants to be able to like do what you're saying, is be able to have control of time. So,
Yeah.
Rick gives him this ability, and then like he's able to try things out and head a save point, and then like you say, be able to go back and
Yes.
start over again.
Yeah, he had a save point where you could go back. Yeah, it'd be like that. That would be like one of the many benefits of my time manipulation power. Because I could also travel to like the year 3000.
Yeah.
See what's going on. See what they got going on. Might not even be a 3000. You know.
Who knows, man?
This might be the last year. This might be the last one.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, August wasn't. Nothing crazy happened in August.
I'm sure something crazy happened.
But it wasn't
there's been a
like-
lot of crazy stuff. Nothing biblical happened. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like nothing of biblical proportions happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some crazy stuff went down, but I don't know if it was biblical.
Well, there's supposed to be an asteroid coming.
Yeah.
Size of a refrigerator, which shouldn't. They say it shouldn't hurt us. You know?
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Some conspiracy theorists, they know.
They know. They do know. Look it up. Not really an asteroid.
That's right.
Um,
It's Donnie Darko.
It's Donnie Darko. Did you ever see the second Donnie Darko?
No, there's a sequel?
Yeah, it's called S. Darko, and it's about his sister, and it's
Oh,
not.
it's about his sister.
Yeah, it's not.
I heard
not,
about it. I never watched it.
It's not the same Gyllenhaal. It's not his actual sister playing in that, and it's not very good. It's a B movie.
Okay.
It's like Son of the Mouse.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. Yeah, sequels, man, sometimes.
I mean, Ace Ventura's sequel was good, right?
It's really good.
There's a lot-
The Call of the Wild.
Yeah. When Nature Calls.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yes. So what's next for Massive J? You gonna make an album? Are you into albums? Or are you just a freestyler?
I would like to lay down some sort of something, like an EP or something, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe have, and like you say, maybe have something on a streaming device to where people can be like, oh yeah, that's Massive J. But it's not something that I'm super just like gung ho about. I guess it's one of these things where I want things to kind of like
Organically,
I don't know.
evolve?
Yeah, organic. Like there's a couple of songs that my buddy Battle Cat, Massive J and Battle Cat have a couple songs that we would like to lay down, but it's just one of these things where we just haven't done it yet, and it's just something it should be coming up hopefully soon. In fact, but I'm with this me. I played the other night in Laurel, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. Hopefully, some more shows will be coming up in the future. In fact, I think Massive J and Battle Cat will be playing September 12th at Glory Bound in Hattiesburg.
All right.
So, yeah. So yeah. Hopefully, some more shows in the future. But yeah. Other than that, like I said, we're gonna try. We're gonna try and record some stuff. But again, I'm a stickler, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. One of those. That's not. It could be better. I'm never going to release it because I can always.
I
do
feel like it's
better.
not. It's kind of not a very good definitive answer, but I think at the same time, like I do want to lay some stuff down, and definitely have had some friends who've reached out who say, "What's that song you do about this?" And you need to record that because I like to hear that. And I was like, okay, some of the things that we do, people do. I would say that when we play, it's 75% of the show is improv, or 25% might be something that we've played before.
So
yeah.
So, what'd you call him? Cat? Thundercat?
Battle Cat.
Battle Cat. Thundercat's something else. What's
Thundercat's a really awesome artist. Yeah.
Battle Cat does what? What's his?
So Battle Cat is my friend Scott Chisholm, who plays music with his better half in a group called Scott Chisholm and the Better Half.
Okay.
But he also raps a good bit. Say a little bit. He raps a good bit, and he also plays the bass.
Okay.
So, he plays the bass, and then we'll spit some fire raps.
Fire raps. That's good.
He also likes to play samples off of his phone sometimes. Where say I'm putting down a nice little mix. He'll bring in this nice little interlude of like Danny McBride quotes from Eastbound and Down, or just something random. Like it's always funny, like what he has to play sample wise.
Yeah, the Scott Chisholm in the Better Half. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it was them. We set them up to do a live show on the radio when I was at Southern, and we were like on the front porch of College Hall, and they played him and that other guy named Wes, who plays like a resonator guitar. I don't know, but they were awesome. I remember listening to them. I was like, these guys are really good.
Scott and I go back a good bit, and it was one of these funny things where even before I started playing music with Decon, believe it or not, Scott would come around, and I would literally just beatbox for him. I would just like beatbox, and he would just rap. And people had there's like some old cell phone footage of like flip phone footage of me and him outside of T-Bone's one night, and I'm just like beatboxing for him, and he's just rapping. And it was always one of these things where like, I don't know, it was just one of these things where eventually I was like, something happened one night at a Thirsty Hippo like open mic night where I brought my gear up there, and Scott was he played bass with the Hattiesburg house band, and they were having rehearsal, and he got done with rehearsal, and I was up there doing my thing, and he just came up there and joined me, and it was one of these moments. I actually somebody recorded that. That was kind of an interesting thing, where I have a recording of like the first time we really collaborated, where I had my gear and everything. It wasn't just me beatboxing, but it was just one of these moments. Like if you know what I'm talking about, when you have these moments on stage when you're just enjoying yourself and everything is just coming together, and you're just everything's just you're on the next thing you know, you're on this level. It's amazing. Like everything is I don't know how to explain it. It's probably what keeps us going, really.
That's the best times is when that happens. Like when everything you're playing is exactly what you wanted to play, and it sounds the way you wanted it to, and then the guy's like, this guy's playing exactly what I wanted him to at this exact time. Yeah, you can feel the magic.
I was telling somebody about I played solo this past weekend in Laurel, and traditionally I like to have somebody else to like bounce, to banter with a little bit, bounce ideas off of. When I played with the con, we could go up there and kind of have a nice little back and forth. With Scott, we have the same thing, where we like to goof off together. So usually I like to have somebody to banter with. But I was playing in Laurel this past weekend, and I think, Shane's got it to where you want to split sets, the first set, the second set. Something was happening that second set where I was feeling it, man. It was one of those magical moments where I was really enjoying the crowd, and the crowd was having a good time and just making up some goofy songs. And I think it was like I was on that level. Everything was clicking and everything felt good.
That's good. That's always good when that happens. There's also the low times where that doesn't happen, but that makes the good times even better. Well, I'll try to make it to one of your shows, and I'll drop a freestyle with you, man. I used to rap. Me and my friend, he got me into it, and we used to literally just freestyle rap all day. He was serious. He was like really into like really rapping.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm not a great rapper. I'm more or less like, I don't know. In a weird way, I feel like I'm Timberland.
Yeah,
I'm Timbaland.
Oh, Timbaland.
I'm Dr. Dre. I'm over here like making some beats, and then like when I drop my rhymes, I can flow a little bit, but a lot of times it's all over the place. So
you got the hooks.
I like the hooks. I really do.
You're gonna come in with the hooks, and you need someone to pop off the. Okay, I feel
that's kind of what with the con it worked out that way, and with Scott it works out that way a little bit. Let them come in, flow a little bit,
That's good. Look, I'll come up there and I'll freestyle with you. If you're cool with that, I'll come do that.
Yeah, usually I am. Unless you're like you show up like stumbling and stuff. We've had a couple people who just come up to the stage like, man, you ought to let me rap, and I'm like, bro, like, chill out.
Why don't you have a coffee and sit down a second? Yeah, I was playing in a cover band a while back, and it's unbelievable how many times people will come up and be like, hey man, can I play your guitar? Can you play Sweet Home Alabama and let me play your guitar? And I'm like, nah, man, I don't know you, and you're pretty drunk.
Yeah,
but it's good into. They have good into.
We've with Scott and I we try to let some people get their little like, it's kind of weird. We've had some people show up and, like I say, try, and it's like, all right, like, you need to go sit down. But we got to go play up in Laurel at Slow Boat one time a couple years ago, and this girl was standing right in front of Scott, and we were just jamming. We weren't really rapping. We were just jamming, and this girl just starts rapping at Scott. No microphone. She just starts rapping at both of us. She's just feeling it.
Yeah.
And we were just like, hey, come up here and use the microphone. Like, you're obviously feeling it. We're liking what we're hearing. Put it out there a little bit,
Yeah.
You're feeling what we're doing. And then it was cool. I think she got a little bit of stage fright, but it was cool.
Yeah. That's good, man. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the whole freestyle thing. It's cool. I dig it. And you said you're playing the 12th?
The 12th of September will be hopefully weather permitting, will be in the back of the Glory Bound.
Okay.
I think I'll be honest with you. Battle Cat's been kind of he's been kind of MIA a little bit. He's not eager to get really back into being around a ton of people.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And he definitely doesn't want to play indoors if there's, he's told me basically, like, if it's bad weather and we have to play inside, I'll probably sit out. And I'm like, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll be playing regardless on the 12th at Glory Bound.
Everybody, make sure and show up for that.
Yeah, you should. It'll be great.
It's going to be awesome for sure. Well, I don't want to keep you all night. If you got stuff to do, I do appreciate you coming on, man. It was awesome talking to you, meeting you, man.
Maybe catch up on a couple of Sopranos episodes. I've been watching The Sopranos lately.
Yeah, I've never watched that show.
You should watch it. It's a good one.
I hear it too. See, I've been watching Stargate, all of those.
Okay.
I'm a
You're a sci-fi dude.
I'm a sci-fi dude, and they don't really have comic books, but movies. I mean, shows. They have movies, obviously, but not shows. But Star Trek and all that lighthearted stuff. I feel like if I watch Sopranos, I might get. That's some really like mobs, right? It's like the mob, right?
Yeah. It's the mob, man. It's like the New Jersey Mafia.
So let me tell you something. Break your fucking leg.
Yeah,
My money's-
it's like that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll watch it.
And I gotta admit, like, I was watching it and I had seen I'd seen a lot of it back when it was still on, but to rewatch it and see it all, and it's amazing to see how amazing James Gandolfini did with that role of being able to be like kind of like a happy character in one scene, but then like be able to like completely change face and be this gangster who's like, where's my fucking money? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Was it on Hulu? Or do you got to buy it?
It's on HBO, so you're gonna have to have something to watch HBO with. I watch it on Amazon. So.
Oh, I got Amazon. Oh, you still got to have
HBO. I pay like a little bit extra through Amazon to watch HBO, which HBO does have some pretty amazing shows.
We're just going back to cable at this point, right? Like
it's goofy now that I think about it. That like as a cable cutter, but I'm paying all these streaming services. I'm paying for Disney Plus and Hulu and Netflix and Amazon, and then there's more coming out by the day. There were people like, I don't know if you saw that. At one point in time, I had Apple TV, Apple Plus, and then I had YouTube Premium. But I watched. Have you seen Cobra Kai? Did you ever? It's an amazing show. It's a continuation of the original Karate Kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cobra Kai.
It's on Netflix now. It was on YouTube, and then I guess Netflix had bought it out or whatever and got it to where now people are watching it for the first time, mainly because it's so easy on Netflix, and it's a hilarious. It's really well written. If you ever watch the original Karate Kid, like the OG Daniel LaRusso, Mr. Miyagi,
wipe
like
on,
Karate
wipe off,
Kid.
wax on, wax.
Yeah, exactly. The OG. It's a continuation of that series where Daniel LaRusso and the guy he beat up in the first movie, Johnny Lawrence, 30 some odd years later. It is such a such a trip.
Ralph Macchio or whatever.
Ralph Macchio is in it, and William Zabka. It's amazing. The quintessential '80s bully, Billy Zabka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
Tell all your friends. Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. It's so good.
What didn't they have they had 3 Karate Kids. Is it before the second and third one?
I think they had more. They had 3 that were like Ralph Macchio was in, and then they made one with like
Jaden Smith was one.
Well, yeah, that was one. That was the one that with what's his face in it. But I'm thinking they made one more with Mr. Miyagi where it was the next Karate Kid with what's her face in it, the $1 Million Baby. Who's the actress from $1 Million Baby? Who was that? She was in one. She was the next Karate Kid.
There was a girl Karate Kid?
Yeah. Daniel LaRusso was in 1, 2, and 3, and then they made this random one with. Why can I not remember this actress's name?
I can tell you what it is.
She was in Boys Don't Cry. She was in.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I want to get.
She was in $1 Million Baby.
I want to get.
Why can't I?
I want to get it without looking it up, because it's right there. It's right there. I can see her face. See her face. Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
I got to.
Don't do it. I know what it
I can't
is.
sit here in silence and just think and stew on this for 20 minutes.
I'm going to sit here in silence for 2 hours if I have to. That'll be the first thing.
I got it.
Hillary Swank, that's what it is. I knew it was something. I saw it, though, but I knew it was right on the...
Yes, Hillary Swank was in a Karate Kid movie.
Really?
I believe so. She was the next Karate Kid.
The next Karate Kid, 1994.
It was actually like a really terrible plot. It was a terrible, terrible plot where she was like, I don't know, she had like pigeons or something she took care of. It was really weird. I think that's right.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
When did that come out?
1994. The next, it's got Mr. Miyagi.
That's what I said. It's got Mr. Miyagi in it. It was the last of Mr. Miyagi's, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
The Master. Wise, patient,
so ridiculous.
And it's hard to read. The student, young, reckless, and beautiful. An ancient tradition is about to collide with a new generation. That's the premise of all of them. All of them. So.
With Michael Ironside as the villain. It's so ridiculous.
His name's Pat.
Yeah, Pat Morita.
Oh,
Pat Morita was also in Happy Days. Interesting enough.
Was he?
Yeah. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Dude, I didn't realize that the guy from Arrested Development played Jason
Bateman.
Bateman was in Little House on the Prairie. He was one of the kids.
Yeah. One of my it's gonna sound so random. One of my favorite Jason Bateman movies was this old movie from early 90s. It's a football movie called Necessary Roughness.
I've heard of it.
It stars Scott Bakula from what was he in?
Oh,
The guy from Quantum Leap was a quarterback.
he was also in Star Trek. He was Captain Archer.
Yeah. And Kathy Ireland was the kicker for the college football team. Sinbad.
Oh,
Yeah. Necessary Roughness. What a young who else? Deuce Bigelow. Who's that actor? That guy was in it.
Rob
Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, he was in it.
Wow.
Yeah. Such a random.
Necessary Roughness. That's weird.
Necessary. Yeah.
Because I kind of figured he didn't show up until Arrested Development, but that's just me being, I guess, only thinking about what I've seen.
Yeah, and people have been telling me to watch this show Ozark. I haven't seen that, but I hear it's really good, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
My wife watched it and said it was awesome. So I haven't watched it.
All right.
So
All right.
she watches a lot of TV shows, so you can trust her opinion.
Yeah, but I just want to reiterate that y'all need to watch Cobra Kai, and it's actually a really easy, quick show to watch. I mean, the episodes are like half an hour, so you just burn through it. I mean, there's only like...
You froze up on me. I don't know if you can see me, but you're frozen on my end.
Everything's good on my end.
All right, now I can hear you. There we go.
Now you're I thought you were frozen on my end.
Looks like let's see you. The quality dropped down. I don't know what that is.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. You look like a cartoon though.
Weird.
Good though. It's unique. It's
Yeah.
different. Some spice. Add some spice.
Ah,
But yeah, so you're playing a show on the 12th at Glory Bound.
True.
Euro place. Everybody can catch
Euro
you there.
spot.
Euro
Yeah.
spot. You can check out JCon.
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 My song. Yeah.
The song. JCon.
Yeah.
On
Wards Over War.
Wards Over War. Stay tuned for part 2.
Yeah, I need more subscribers on my YouTube. So really, if anybody could go out and just like subscribe to my YouTube, I've got a couple videos that I've made on there, other than Wards Over War. But yes, that song's on there.
Yes, I saw there was like you have a cologne ad.
That was one of my senior projects at Southern that I decided to make. It was a dad bod parody
Dad bod.
commercial.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
it was a commercial for the dad bods out there for when a man needs to smell like a man.
Yes. The dad bod. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go over there, subscribe to his YouTube channel, and check out the dad bod and all of that.
Yeah. I need it. I need the support.
Yeah, and then also stay tuned for we're gonna have a collaboration called
Oh.
So we'll have to put some sort of exclamation mark or something. OHH or I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh,
Yeah.
that's coming out as well.
Put it on your calendar.
It's on the calendar. That's it's written down. But yeah, I'll come by and check out your next show. If I'm in town, I might be out of town. But if I'm in town, I'll be there. If not, I'll be at the next.
All right.
For sure.
Yeah, man. All good.
But yeah, I'll let you go before we go forever and let you get to your Sopranos. But it was really nice talking to you and meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you as well. Nice talking with you.
Yeah. If you ever want to collaborate or anything, hit me up, man. I got a studio.
Definitely.
I got a studio here. I rap.
Cool.
We can do
All
something.
right.
We can do something.
I'm down.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm always down.
Cool, man. Hit me up, and everybody check out all of Massive J's stuff. And I'll talk with everybody soon. Thanks, man. See you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Later.
Later.